Good morning, good morning, good morning. So stuffy today. I gotta tell you, when you have a house of young kids, no matter what, you're going to just wake up stuffy every single day. And yesterday or last night, our daughter decided that she was going to not sleep at all. Like she did not want to sleep. Um, so not only am I stuffy, but I'm on no sleep, which kind of stinks, but that's okay. That's what you get when you have pure rhino blood, right? Like you just keep going forward. So a couple, you could hear how stuffy I am. So a couple of things. One, I feel like things aren't as organized as they could be. So for instance, the Salesforce curriculum that we're going through, the user design, Salesforce user designer certification, right? I think that's what it's called. It's quite funny because the whole entire curriculum is based on how to design a user interface. What meaning? How can you go ahead and identify who your user is and make it as seamless and um, uh, unified typography, message, friendly use, intuitive use, which is actually all the things that Rhino's ever been. So it is a bit ironic. Hey, Frida. So a lot of all the stuff that we're reading and whatnot, we're actually really not only learning on a level to be tested on, but learning on a level of we could really use this. So that has kind of come to the front of mind. Like for instance, the other day is like, hey, where can I find more about Rhino? And I was thinking to myself, like, where could you? If you want to learn about this part, you'd go here. If you want to learn about this part, you'd go here. But like, where is that? Um, so there's, so it's funny. It's almost like we're in a kitchen and we have all of the ingredients, and we've put the onus on making sure that we secure the ingredients because we believe, well, once we have the ingredients and we're all taken care of, we could cook, right? Like I could take the filet from here and the asparagus from here and put it together, but I can't do that if I don't have the ingredients. So there's that odd transition where you just have a bunch of stuff everywhere. And of course, RHINOHUB was meant to, hey Justin, RHINOHUB was meant to organize that. And I think it has, but it's also confusing, right? When you go to RHINOHUB, where do you go? What do you do? So the point of me saying this out loud is that I know this. And this will be done over the course of the next week and a half before we really launch RHINOHUB, right? So I just want to put that out there because I'm feeling disorganized. Because the more stuff we're bringing in and the more stuff we're doing, it just has the ability to be counterproductive. And what I mean by that is there's no production in the person that does 100 things 90% of the way through. It's always more productive for one person to do one thing 100% than the person that does 100 things at 90%. Because although the person that does 100 things at 90% has been working every second of every day and is, by all accounts, has worked harder, they actually have nothing. They have nothing done. The only person that has anything to done is the one person that did the one thing 100%. So I know this, right? So I just want to kind of say that out loud because I'm feeling it. And I'm a pretty good conduit of Rhino. So if I'm feeling it, I imagine maybe someone else is feeling it. So I just want to say that out loud. Secondly, Rhino Bucks surpassed 80,000 in liquidity, which is really cool. That's like a lot. So not to go through the whole preamble of the last 2 days talking about the liquidity pool. When we started with 6,000, it's now 80,000. What's that come out to? Like 13 and a third times larger than we were 4 months ago, which is really cool, or 5 months ago. To grow 13 times in 5 months, it's no small feat. And the cool thing is all the growth is still in front of us, which is really, really cool. I was on with the tech team yesterday. I'm waiting for the head of tech to get back to me on next steps for the bot that we're going to have a membership that I shared with everyone yesterday. I'm waiting for the head of search to get back to me today, most likely, to go ahead and take next steps on upgrading our AI to Turbo and adding Rhino Whisper, which will be a button that once you press it, you'll be able to do voice to text, so you can search using your voice. So press the button. Hey, what's the best way to make a chicken pot pie? Great. Okay, there it is. Lovely. So that's happening. Those two are happening today in terms of the conversation. I imagine it would probably be a week before those things are done. So just putting it out there. What else? So there is exciting stuff I want to share with you. I'm just trying to get through all the other stuff. Oh, I'm thinking about, I don't know. I'm either going to do an email today about, like, I haven't done a bump up email in a while. And the thing with Rhino Bucks, it's really quite funny because it can go up every day. It can be worth more than you paid, whatever. But because it's so consistent, it does one of two things. One, it doesn't cause anybody to jump ship or cause anyone to feel like they have to sell in that moment. So it really diminishes the behavior that would create volatility. But because of all the things that, because of all the characteristics that diminish the behavior to create volatility, it also equally diminishes the behavior to feel like there's a scarcity involved. Meaning, when somebody is looking at their bills or their income or their money situation, Rhino Bucks is actually quite high on the list of things that they might look to cut out to go ahead and meet short-term holes. And we've always thought, let's keep the amounts low enough that wouldn't be too high on anyone's list. But we're noticing that once you're over, say, $10 a week, it becomes on people's list. So even yesterday, I got an email, hey, Ant, would you mind just lowering my 20 to 1 until I get out of this hole? And what it does is it's really drastically lowering our average weekly. In fact, I didn't update it this morning, which is why the number is exactly the same. But I'd venture to say we're probably around high 13s, which is a long ways from 27, our all-time high. But it also includes the $5 Rhino Well plans, the $1 prompt engineering. So it has other like deflating, it has other very, very low priced items that bring it down. But even with that said, if we took all those out, we're probably sitting at like 17, right? Like, so it's not, maybe 18. So it does kind of need a little bit of a jolt. So I think I want to, but then I thought a little bit further, and we have about 10,000 email opens a day. Only 345 people in Rhino Bucks. And the conversation I'm having with myself is, well, RHINOHUB is built that you bring everybody in, do a really great job, and have logical times to recommend things like that. So don't go ahead and get impatient. And what I mean by that is what I'm thinking ahead is, well, instead of writing that bump up email, why don't I do an email tomorrow morning that kind of just highlights Rhino Bucks? Like, this is what it is. If you're in it, you should bump up. If not, this is how you get started, which I don't think there's much downside to. And of course, it has to be a really good email, right? But it also has to be short. So it takes a lot of work to do something like that, because you want to fully explain what it is, why to get into it, and what the future holds, while also not complicating the message with a whole bunch of numbers and projections. And you also want to make it short enough that somebody doesn't take more than 30 seconds to read. So it is like a 3-hour project. And I don't say that lightly. Like, when we write emails like that, it really is a very long project. So do I want to do the bump up? If not, do I want to do that email tomorrow morning? And if not, is it because I don't want to jump ahead of the natural suggestion? So that's kind of on my mind today. I'll figure something out, but I just want to share that with you. Let's see what else is there. So I think that's, yeah, good. Thank you, Brian. So I think that's kind of all. And I really, really want to be only 10 minutes today. So it's not that I'm like getting lazy. I just, like, it's important that I'm only 10 minutes. And I'm already 9, which means I'm going to go over 10 minutes because I want to show you 2 things, but then we're done. So let me go ahead and do a share screen real quick. So 2 things I would like to show you. So one is we are officially registered for the Salesforce test Monday. So that's really, really cool. So there it is, March 13th. We have 105 minutes to take it. It's at 1500, which is 3 p.m. And a couple things we have to do ahead of time, but it's paid for, it's done. And the reason why I wanted to show this is, again, and I'll go back to this in a second. So I'm just gonna go to my screen first. The reason I want to show you this is because everything with RHINOHUB actually is next step, next step, next step. So in fact, yesterday was our first certification preparation day, in which case I spent, I don't know, maybe 3.5 hours going through every curriculum we had done, every trailhead, everything, and then synthesizing key points, key terms, definitions, going through actual test prep, speaking to people that had taken the test, identifying what portion is worth what percentage. Like discovery is 13% of the test, but SLDS is 21% of the test. And then actually creating a mock 60 question test that actually adheres to those percentages, right? A lot. So we have 200 flashcards that do exactly that. And we went through them for the first time yesterday. And it was just reading them because we have to learn them, right? Today, we're going to do the hands-on modules. I do have a certain sense that the test has one hands-on module, and I have a certain sense of the 5 they're going to pick from. So we want to go through them today. And then tomorrow will be, instead of learning it, doing it. So we're on a really, really good pace for Monday to pass the test. And the point being, when we pass the test Monday, then we go ahead and apply to the positions that are open. Once we go ahead and get X number of people accepting our application and then looking to negotiate with us, now we have the case study. Now we knew nothing about nothing. We took the curriculum, we prepared for the certification, we passed it, we applied for positions, we got offers. We went in 4 weeks from having 0 income to potentially 1 million in income because we have 10 different people offering us 100,000 a year because we applied to the 9,000 open positions that are remote. If we can do that and prove that, that is the ad, that is the marketing. Hey, would you like to be part of this? Now, to take it a step further, we're not saying that we don't want you to have to do all that work. We're saying, well, since we're able to do it, why stop there? We'll go ahead and continue doing it. We'll create the agency, we'll bring on the clients, and those that pass the certification will go ahead and assign hours to you. In which case, we can completely filter the customer journey. We can completely filter the standards. So for instance, if Brian goes ahead and says, hey, Ann, I got certified, but I really don't know that much about this stuff. I know like enough, I guess. We would say, okay, cool, Brian, we're gonna give you 5 hours of this project. We think it's really entry level and it's $100 an hour. So, God bless, make sure you complete it. If it takes you 7 or 8 hours, well, that's on you, right? Like whatever you need to do to learn it. And we're here to support you. Presumably, say it takes Brian 8 hours. Well, he finished the 5-hour project. He learned what it took to learn to do the 5-hour project. He researched stuff. He reached out to us. We collaborated a little bit. And now Brian went from whatever level, say 1.0, to now he's 2.0. He could take on a bigger project. When you take that and repeat that over months, a year from now, Brian is an absolute blah, blah, blah expert, which means Brian can effectively have a whole team underneath him and he could be the support for them and he could make $10 an hour per member, right? So we could really build it. And it's not because, we found a little bit of an opportunity. No, the whole premise of all this is where the gold rush is. Right now, there's 9,000 open positions, 100,000 a year plus remote. If you go to where you want to go into the place, it's like 500,000. So can we go ahead and get 100 of them? And that's just on ZipRecruiter. What about Indeed? What about this? What about that? Blah, 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 blah. Can we get 100? I don't know. I don't see why not. They're all open. So that's how we're building that. That sounds fun. See, Travis, I love. Now, Travis is probably saying, I know your game. You said you were going to be 10 minutes and it's now 14. And Travis is actually waiting another 7 minutes, knowing I'm going to take 21 minutes. But it was actually speaking to Travis 2 weeks ago that this actually came to fruition. I don't know where inspiration comes. I really don't. I never know. But I cannot stress enough that RHINO is We collaborate. Talk to me. I don't know what I don't know. And honestly, this came from him. So Travis, thank you. All right, so that's that. And I want to show you one more thing because I want to invite you to it. So we spoke a lot about Einstein GPT. So let me X this out. And here is the email. So watch now, right? So let me go to it. All right, so let me hide this floating menu control. I'm going to copy and paste this link into the chat. So everyone. Now to actually attend this, you do need to sign up for Trailhead. Now Trailhead's free, right? So it's not like you're obligated to do anything. You just have to sign up so that Salesforce knows who you are. Point being, Wednesday, March 8th, that's today. And today at 3 o'clock, Salesforce is actually releasing Einstein GPT keynote and insights. And this is the coup de grace. This is everything. The whole world is so excited about this. In fact, Mark Benioff, the CEO of Salesforce, teased it yesterday and put out a video, just a 1-minute video of what it does. Remember the things I was telling you yesterday where it's like, hey, tell me who can do this and write me an email to them? It does that and more. Tell me in my CRM who would be inclined to purchase this. Create me a landing page and an email to send directly to each one of them. Calculate the emails to be the optimal times for each individual's open rate, and create and make sure the landing pages are unique to each person and make it personalized. It does all that. It's crazy. And that was in the 1-minute video. So the point of me saying this is we have the super duper Salesforce contract. Like we have the 6-figure contract. We have our own server with them. We have their rep coming to us Tuesday. We have them looking to continue a larger partnership with RHINOHUB with what we're doing. We have Einstein. We have all this stuff. The point being, everything that you're going to see in that presentation, if you care to watch it, if not, God bless, is going to be things, is actually going to be things that we have immediate access to. There's no upgrading that we need to do. That is made for our type of client, our tier of client. So we're going to really, really be applying it much more in the future as it's built. So the point, I'm so stuffy. I'm sorry that I'm pausing between words. I can't actually breathe. See? The point being, everything that we've shared of what we're doing going forward doesn't even take into account Einstein GPT because we don't know what it is. We don't know how to use it. We don't know how it's going to apply. But if you can imagine, everything that we've shared sounds really good. It makes a lot of sense. And then you go ahead and pour gasoline on it with the most incredible product that everyone is waiting to see. It stands for the reason we're going to do better than expected. So I'm going to get out of here before Travis reminds me that it's 21 minutes. It's only 18 minutes. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you a long time. You're super. No, Robbie, you're super duper. In fact, by the way, we still own superduperduper.com. We don't have a webpage to it yet, but at some point we're going to. So I just want to let you know, superduperduper.com is owned by RHINO. All right. Love you. Love you. Love you. Bye.